And you might remember the name, and you probably remember that interview that went off the rails. Congressman Michael Grimm went from the House of Representatives to the big house, but now he's back, and he spoke to me about his plans for the future. Joining me now, former New York Congressman Michael Grimm. Thank you, Michael, for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get it out of the way. Make it official. Are you running for Congress?
Well, I think it's a decision that the people are going to decide. I have a big rally coming up Sunday, October 1st, and if the people really want me to run, then yes, I'm going to run.
Well, based on the people who we saw in the diner that day, they want you to run.
Pretty much everywhere I've been. What I'm getting consistently is, we've been waiting for you. We miss you. The difference, I think, is that when I was the congressman, when I was representing these people, I gave my heart and my soul. I was everywhere. I was with them. I mean, there were days where literally I would show up at someone's house because I know they had been through really difficult times. I'd hug them, and there was a time where we actually cried together. I mean, I really knew my constituents. They got to know me. It was very personal.
You have obviously a couple of hurdles here, and I know that you want the focus not to be on that one interview with that one reporter or the time that you spent in a federal lockup. You want it to be on your nearly 20 years of public service, your time as an undercover FBI agent risking your life, your time in the Gulf War.
Sure.
And your time serving in Congress.
It's first of all, yes. Did I have 3 delivery boys and a kitchen worker off the books at a restaurant for a couple of years, myself and 2 other partners? Yes, I did. And I own that. I'm not running away from that, hiding from it. But that's a civil matter. It's a Department of Labor civil fine for everyone but me. I found out 14 months before the indictment that a deal was made with Loretta Lynch. Now we know about Loretta Lynch. I knew then she was corrupt. I knew then that I was told if she took me down, she'd be the next Attorney General of the United States. 2 months after my, what I would call a sham indictment, she was the Attorney General of the United States.
So you're saying she targeted you to advance her own career?
There's no question. Why else would I be the first and only person in the history of New York City to not get a civil fine?
And you made that point in the piece that so many people do this, and your point was that you weren't taking money and putting it in your pocket. You were taking money out of the register to pay the people who you couldn't pay on the books because they were illegal.
And never took the write-off. So the reality is, any accountant would tell you, I wasn't doing it to make money. I wasn't looking to cheat the government. You can't get a dishwasher on the books in New York City. It's almost impossible to get a kid on a bicycle to deliver food that's on the books. You do it because it's a necessity. It's not right. I want to say that right now. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. I should have had the courage to fail, close the restaurant, and possibly even lose my house. That's what I should have done, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life.
I know that you believe that your foreign policy experience can help on Capitol Hill, and including your experience with North Korea. Tell me about it.
There's no question. I think that my foreign policy experience, but also my loyalty. I'm a Marine through and through. I almost got killed in the Gulf War. Okay, my Hummer hit an anti-tank mine. I was blown 4 feet in the air. By the grace of God, I survived. And then I walked that very night down that minefield to bring prisoners back to safety. So I have a spine. There's a lot of members in Congress right now with a very weak spine that have turned their back on our president and have undermined the pro-American agenda that everyone voted for. So first and foremost, I want to be there to have our president's back. That's number one. Number two, yes, we have a very precarious, very difficult situation with North Korea. And it's getting worse. Why? I mean, we had the Clinton administration that tried to bribe them. That didn't work. You fast forward, and you had 8 years of an appeasement policy by President Obama. And now what do we have? Now we have a lunatic with the capability, very soon, ICBMs with nuclear weapons that can possibly strike not only the United States, but our allies. And I think the president has taken such a harsh stance. Yes, his bellicose terminology, but that's because not only do we need to send a message to North Korea, and maybe he's not mentally stable to hear it, but our allies need to know that our resolve and our commitment is unwavering. And that means Japan. I mean, we really have to make sure our allies understand we are there for them. And this is a very difficult situation.
Not to switch topics, but the president also took a harsh stance against NFL players.
He did.
As a veteran, I'm wondering how you feel about players kneeling during the national anthem.
Well, I think there's 2 issues. Number one, as someone that watches the football games, this is my escape. I don't want to hear about politics. I want to watch a game and get away from that. So that's the first thing. The second thing, not only as a veteran, but as someone that has, shared the blood, sweat, and tears with those that have given their lives and their limbs. How about the families of someone that lost a son or a daughter or a loved one in combat, and they have to see people that we should be looking up to, sports figures of people that our children look up to, they make millions of dollars, they're very talented, to turn your back on the national anthem and our flag, it sends a message that I think it strikes at the heart of who we are as Americans. And as a veteran, it's offensive. Yeah. It's just offensive.
Michael Grimm, tell us, you're running. Just say it right now, live on TV, right here on the Fox Report. Tell us, you're running for Congress.
I'll say this. The response has been overwhelming. I'm energized. I'm very excited. Everyone I've spoken to is extremely enthusiastic. And I think that on Sunday, if we have a huge turnout, you're going to get the answer you want.
That's when it's official. All right, Michael Grimm, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.